Good afternoon, everyone. As I stated in my previous video from November, I would be coming back here to share the additional 3 books that I read. A few days ago, I finished reading the last and final book to this series, so I do want to welcome you to Ricky's Journal. So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a great weekend. It is Monday. It's about 3:16 in the afternoon here in Lakeland, Florida today. And I cannot wait to talk to you about these 3 books. I actually have everything on my phone this time that is needed. So I do want to talk a little bit about the author that wrote these books. Her name is R.L. Perez, and she is an amazing author. She's an amazing writer, amazing author, and I just loved this series. She is from Florida. She's from South Florida. And she does have a website. It's called rlperez, Perez.com. I will list it below here in my video. And I do apologize that I am talking a little bit slower. I did just get done having an attack. So, as you know, most of you know, I do have a disability. It's like a attack disability, so I do have some attacks that make me go into a seizing or slower speech issue. So just deal with me a little bit here. So I do apologize if anything sounds off. So R.L. Perez is a YA fantasy romance author. She's a type A warrior and proud Hufflepuff. She's been writing books since she was old enough to form sloppy, misspelled words and staple pieces of paper together. She published 3 series, which is called the Timecaster Chronicles, the Nightcaster Chronicles, and the Bloodcaster Chronicles, which we will be actually speaking about today. 3 separate series set in the same world, featuring witches, romance, and time travel. When she's not working on her books, she's either napping, diving into a good book, obsessively watching Netflix, or playing with her 2 kids. She's a big chocolate lover, so am I, and she's a loud laughter and alternative rock. She likes alternative rock music. You can join her newsletter as well. With the newsletter, you may get a chance to get some free ebooks and things like that. She is on Amazon as well as Goodreads. And my Goodread link will be below, and I do follow her as well in mine, Goodreads. So the first book we are going to talk about here is book number 1 in the series, which is called, this is it, The Demon's Kiss. So this book was the first book of her series, as I mentioned, and this book, my goodness, you went on such an adventure. You get to meet the characters, so some of the main characters. You have an assassin, which her name is Cora. She is put on a mission to kill a Niflim, and I apologize if I said that incorrectly, but I believe it's called that, Niflim. His name is Vince. But within the book and within the story, the 2 are slowly falling in love. Along with trying to figure out their love, Vince is also trying to figure out his magic and if he wants to leave his Niflim clan or lose some powers and become a full Nephilim, and along the way there are many obstacles that Korra, Vince, along with others. So he has a friend named Luke, along with his dad and Jocelyn. She's a Nephilim as well, and they will come into many obstacles. And this book, from the beginning, it just keeps you wanting more. And the best part, there's 2 more books after this one, so there's a total of 3 books. But this book, in all this whole series, I rated 5 stars. This book is amazing. It was really good. It's at 396 pages. And it was cool because all 3 books are signed by R.L. Perez. So I'm really excited for that. This was actually one of the books, one set of books that I have dedicated just to me, with my name in it and everything. As you can see, my name is there and signed by the author with a little note. This book, as I said, the characters went through many obstacles, and Vince is set with Warlock and Nephilim powers, and he does have a choice, though, to leave the clan altogether, and or to become full Nephilim. So this book does explain a little bit more about that and what he chooses to be, and in book 2 you kind of find out that as well. So in book 2, we talk about, which is in the Angel's Vow. As you can see, his wings are actually black. They were white in this book. So in book number 2, my notes are on my phone, so sorry. So this was another amazing second part to the series. So you actually learn about 2 realms, because Vince does make a choice, and he is now becoming a Reaper. So you learn about 2 realms, which is the mortal realm and the astral realm. And along with learning about these realms, you get to see how much Korra and Vince have both matured. You will also find out about Vince becoming a Reaper, and that this may not have been the choice that he thought he wanted now, because he's become a Reaper and he's learned more about it. But he does meet his mother, Cecile, and in the book 1, you will find out more about, you will find out some stuff that happened to Cecile. Let's see here. So within this book, you will also find out, with the 2 different realms, there are different rules and different guidelines that you follow. But you will also find out that Korra's dad actually comes back as well within the second book, and there's some awful things that he's doing within the mortal realm. And Vince is also met with some of the powers that he realizes that he has. So now with this, will Vince choose his new powers? Will he choose to keep his Reaper powers? What exactly is going to go on with this? This book does answer a lot of those questions. And then also, is there going to be another war? Because in book 1, you got to learn about one war that happened. And in this book, we are going to find out on if there will be another war or if there's not going to be. But you will also find that out in book 3, so there is some spoilers here. Let's see what else here. Book 2 was written very well because it was in 2 different realms that you got to learn about each realm and their guidelines and their rules and things like that. But towards the end, you'll see that both realms actually have to meet up together because of Quentin and the things that he does. So now we are going to talk about the last and final book in this Bloodcaster Chronicles. It's The Reaper's Call. So as you can see, Vince's wings are still black, but he has grown and matured more too, along with Cora. You will also see on his face here, which was amazing that R.L. Perez did. The covers just, I'm sorry, the covers just have so many details, and I love each cover because it got more and more into the book. But on Vince's face there is a scar, and that will be explained some as well. So, in book 3, the final book of the Bloodcaster Chronicles, it took me a little bit to read this book because I didn't want it to end. I fell in love with the characters, every single one of them. They were wonderful characters, and I was just very sad that the series had to end. So, book 3 was just as good as book 1 and 2. It was an amazing book. Each book had their own details, and they were just fantastic. This book, though, it was more of an emotional story. So, because both realms met, and even though it was more emotional, it had all the action to keep me, the reader, along with the other readers, more interested. R.L. Perez, I felt she left the ending kind of open. So, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because the ending, even though it was open, it wasn't open of leaving you stuck with, oh my goodness, like, what else is going to happen? What else? You kind of get to figure out, and you kind of know what happens at the end, which is, to me, amazing with an open-ending book. The main characters, all of them actually ended up getting along with their covens and their different realms, and you find out in the end that there is some happiness for Vince and Cora, because with the realms that they're in, they weren't able to be together, but due to the war that went on with Quentin, along with another person that is introduced, Vince and Cora and the teams won that war, so now they get to kind of make up their own rules. Now, Vince is brought to another decision as well that he actually went with, which explains the scar on his face. Vince, remember from book 1, he had Warlock and Nephilim powers. He gave that up, became a Reaper, and then in book 3 he becomes a Timekeeper. So with the Timekeeper, it shows a timeline, and he has to go through a series of tests, and which brings a scar on his face. But the great thing is, with the Timekeeper, he gets to keep, to me, if I understood it correctly, he gets to keep all 3 of his powers. So he gets to keep his Nephilim powers, his Warlock jumping powers, and now his Timekeeper powers as well. So that was just wonderful. And like I said, the ending of it was a happy ending. So it was really good, even though it was left open. It was great. I wouldn't have the ending any other way. I cannot wait. I want to get some of the other books that she had, R.L. Perez has, which is the Timecaster Chronicles and the Nightcaster Chronicles, because the Bloodcaster Chronicles were just, the series was so amazing. I absolutely loved it, and I totally recommend it to anyone who enjoys fantasy books. And even if they don't, I really haven't read that many fantasy books or gotten into many fantasy books like I did this one. As many of you know, one of my favorite authors is Danielle Steele. And one of my favorite horror authors is Stephen King. And so when I heard about R.L. Perez, which is actually an indie author, I heard from it from my local used bookstore, which is Inkling's bookstore shop. They are doing an indie. They call it Inkling's Inkling Indies. And what they've done from all over the world, even out of the U.S., they've gotten different types of books in from indie authors. And I was introduced to R.L. Perez's books, and I believe that all of her books are there at Inklings. And the Bloodcasters looked very interesting to me, and I was like, oh, let's give it a try, see how it is. I really haven't gotten into that much fantasy. I mean, I liked Harry Potter and Twilight and things like that, but the series was just amazing. She did such an amazing job on writing it. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, Goodreads, and her website as well, which I'm going to link. So I'm going to try to link all of her pages in the information below, and that way you guys can go ahead and follow her as well. But like I said, these 3 books were just simply fantastic. There's some more books of hers coming on the way. So she, let me go here, books. So, she has like prequel books, so like 0.05 and then book 1. So, even the Bloodcaster Chronicles, it actually has 2 extra books. That has book 0.5 prequel and book 0.6 prequel. And it looks like it's mostly based on Cora, and the what kind of her life, because we learned a lot about Vince's life in these 3 books and what he went through, and we learned a little bit about Cora. And I'm actually very excited because I would love to read more about Cora, because she, along with Vince, she is amazing. She's an amazing assassin. I would also like to learn more about the Timekeepers and Luke as well, because Luke is a Timekeeper. There's also some other books as well. As I said, the Timecaster Chronicles, the Nightcaster Chronicles, and then there's a newer one, which is, let's see here. It's by Joss Walker, and I believe him and R.R. Perez actually writing books together. So, there's a 0.5 for The End of the Road. It's a short story from the world of Jane Throne. Tomb of the Queen. Again, Jane Throne. And then there's another one coming soon as well, which is book number 2, which is Master Shadows. So I'm very excited for this. She's on Amazon, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and BookBub as well. So she's everywhere, and I don't blame her because the writing is fantastic. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get more of her books. So please, if you haven't, go ahead and get some of her books and read them. They are fantastic and amazing. Now, I would also like to, as I kind of hit on with my last video, there are some things that I've been trying to do because to get kind of like my credit up and stuff. So this is kind of talking about differently. There's a thing called Kickoff, and it does work. So what it is, there's an app that comes with it, and it's called Kickoff. It's a credit building app. And so what it does is it builds your credit, and you buy some things from a Kickoff store. It's nothing that gets delivered. It's like a point system kind of. So what you do is you buy it, and then you pay for it monthly. And it's as low as like $2 a month that you can pay for it. And they report to all accounts on Equifax and Experian, and at the end of every month, and they report the payments, and your credit will go up, which is fantastic. Oh no, I can't get out of that page. Which is great. So far, just to give you like kind of like a thing, my credit went up just from using Kickoff, 22 points. So it's wonderful. There's another thing as well. It's called Tomo, Tomo. It's a credit card that is linked to your bank account. And depending on how much deposits and things like that you get, mine's pretty low because as of right now, due to my disability, I'm fighting for disability because they call my disability like an invisible disability because it's all mental. So what happens is with my disability, I've been diagnosed with multiple things as of PTSD, short-term memory, autism, OCD, tremors. So when I do too much or if my body gets too anxious, because I also have anxiety and depression, my body starts shaking, which in the beginning, that's why I said I just got done having an attack, which brings my speech a little bit slower and slurred some. But with this, it's like a credit card, and it's linked to your bank account, and what happens is even with bad credit, you can get it, and you get up to a certain amount, and then it's you can use that, and like I use it for just some regular monthly bills, and it takes out of your account weekly, and it reports to the credit bureaus as well that you are in good standing and paying for it. So that's another thing that helps build your credit as well. And then this amazing thing called Bella. It's a credit card that you can get direct deposit to. It's not a credit card. It's a card that you can get direct deposit to, or you can transfer money to it. And it has a Karma account. And so what happens is that when you spend on that card and you put money into the Karma account as well, like some extra change and stuff, you can get a surprise the next time you spend. The good karma may come to you and pay for your item. So, which is really cool. It has a checking and savings account in there as well. So those are 3 things that I wanted to talk about that are actually pretty cool things, and they actually work. Those things will be linked in my bio as well. And then, but you can click on them too. But I just wanted to get on here because I had to get on here and just talk about how amazing these books are and how much I love them. They were truly amazing and wonderful, and I truly appreciate the work of R.L. Perez and her amazing writing. So now the exciting thing is I'm hoping I can make it. Because of my disability, I don't drive. So I hope I'm able to make it. But she will be at Inkling's Bookshop, which their website is linked in my bio as well. But she will be at Inkling's Bookshop signing and doing a meet and greet, and signing books and stuff. So I'm so excited, and hopefully if I'm able to make it, I can meet her and get some pictures, and it'll just be so wonderful. So, but with that being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and please remember that, as I always say in all my videos, it's okay not to be okay. A lot of people are going through things, and they sometimes need time to heal, so please try to be patient with people, try to be positive. Let's try to stop this negativity, and just try to live our lives to the best that we can. If someone needs help, please listen to them and talk to them, and you might be the one to actually help someone. So, which is great. I hope all of you have a wonderful, fantastic day and a great week to come. Hopefully within this month I'll be able to make a little music introduction as well, like I usually do. I just recently started. So I love each and every one of you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.